Good morning, you guys. Happy Monday. Babe Boy Views here. So, this weekend, I saw this video by Jordan Peterson and Bill Maher, and man, was this a good interview. I think in part because Bill Maher kind of came out and said that I really just don't have an agenda. I just want to have a good, decent conversation of topics as if we were just friends and there was no cameras here. And it gave the vibe for sure. But this particular podcast interview, you can see Jordan Peterson, lower his guard a little bit, and he's going into some in-depth topics, whether it's talking about biblical, because you know that Jordan Peterson just dropped like a 36 hour class on YouTube about the biblical stories and have gone in depth with about 9 people. So he's about it, all right? So he's about the biblical. He says that I can state him saying that he lives as if God was real. And, you don't have to believe in God, but those lessons that they have in the Bible, whether it's Sodom and Gomorrah, Matthew, Abraham, there's a lot of good stories in there. I'm personally probably like halfway through the Bible right now. I think I just got done with I'm listening to them on audio. I just got done with, I believe, Numbers. But he's going into depth about what's going on in Canada in the last couple of years about COVID. So this is a predominantly left-leaning show. Probably after COVID, not so much, but Bill Maher is unapologetically a Democrat, and I have nothing wrong with that. What actually did turn me on about this podcast and where Bill Maher stands, so he grew up in the 60s. He went to Cornell in the 70s, late 70s. So it tells you all about his character. He's an older gentleman, more Democrat, and he kind of goes into depth about the history of his mindset from back in the days and how the Democrats used to own the First Amendment and the Republicans used to own the Second Amendment, which is the right to bear arms. And I thought that was crazy because he starts talking about the turnaround in the Democratic Party and how we have these lefters that are no longer lefters in his eyes. They're just outlandish communists, I would like to say. But he says that the Democratic Party used to stand on the fundamental element that all men are created equal, and regardless of your skin, ethnicity, eye color, all that shit, right? And how dare you put a label on me? And now you see everybody trying to have some type of label on them, some type of identification, or I don't know. But it made sense to me because those are probably one of the 2 biggest unalienable rights that we have in the Constitution. So I highly recommend going and see this podcast. They get into Canadian politics too, so I don't know if you keep up with Trudeau and all that. So Trudeau's a fucking idiot. I hate this dude. He's a clown. Jordan Peterson, blatantly says that he has not heard a truthful story from this man in ever. He's just a figurehead. He just got called out for going out to China with Chinese politicians onto a private island for a trip that would cost a normal person like $80,000 that he got for free. And the dumbest shit that so what this dude says to tell himself that it's okay was, so he was going up against his political rival, which is Perrier. Forgive me if I'm not saying your name right, but he asked him this question, right? It was like, why are you accepting this $80,000 flight to whatever island by the Chinese? It was like, obviously my political partner over there, Perrier, doesn't know what friendship is. I'm like, bro, if you don't shut the but yeah, pray for Canada, everybody. They get into the so-called riots that was funded by MAGA in 2020, 2021, where the truckers came out and they were protesting not the COVID vaccines, but more predominantly the mandates to stay inside. And that they were heroes. And Trudeau goes and shuts down all their bank accounts, which is over 200 people. So not only did they shut down the bank accounts of the people that were in the protests, but they also shut down the bank accounts of people that just funded the protest. Okay? So there was no MAGA people supporting. I mean, there was no significant support from American people to help fund this protest in Canada. I don't know if there is a small amount, but I would have supported them if I would have known. But they got fucked basically after this. And that tells you a lot about what's going on with the CBDCs. Right now we have paper money. We can go, even if we didn't have credit, even if we didn't have it, all of those other little things that everybody needs, like a credit card, a debit card, a bank account, the simple things. And they start talking about, well, I just want to get that point across to everybody about the CBDCs and how easy it is for a government that is all electronic to go ahead and cancel your bank account if they needed to. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. It was an amazing interview that they did. Bill Maher also starts getting into relationships, and you see two different parts of the spectrum. You got one man that has gone his entire life with his wife, and then you got Bill Maher, who decent man, been through a lot in his life, always been a great talk show host, very into the space of influence, just through his show alone. Got divorced recently, didn't have any kids. So two very different parts of the spectrum, these two sitting down together, and they're talking relationships. And I thought that it was amazing that Jordan Peterson can tell his side of the story, because I feel like he's always been attacked so hard on every single podcast that everybody's trying to find something to demonize him. You know, it becomes almost redundant to the point where he showed up to this thinking that this was going to be a personal attack on him. And I'm so glad that Bill Maher is still out here making shows and getting everybody real news, real topics, and real interviews. So I highly recommend you guys go see that. I'm about to go hit the gym right now, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.